Hi there, how's it going? It's Wheeler Bet and we're back in Shepherd's Bush, not one of my favourite places in London, I'll come clean there, but we're in the Cinderton Social Mart once again. We're here, we've got the beers out and we're talking Football League. How's it going?
Yeah, good. Energised by the international coupon, but
Fantastic.
trying to get back into the domestic action. But like you, I think I'm going to miss it.
It's hard. I think it's been a great 6 days in Europe qualifiers, and if you disagree, you're wrong. So, anyway, game one,
Yes.
and Bournemouth against Charlton from the Championship. I'm just delighted you picked this because I just want to talk about Bob Peters. He looks like a big baby. big chubby baby, isn't he?
You can say that to his face if you want. I would definitely wouldn't. It's like you'd tear my head off.
Are you with Big Bob here? Or?
Oh, you've got to be with Big Bob, haven't you? You don't want to get your head kicked in. Talking about a big baby, Eddie Howe to me looks like a young child.
Yeah, he does.
That's who the game is. Bournemouth against Charlton. And Bournemouth, they're everyone's sort of favourite second club, aren't they? Really, in the Championship at least. Very nicely run, progressive club. But I've been looking at the markets this season. I feel they're getting a little bit too much respect. 4-6 to win this game, which I don't really understand. Very shocking. Won 4 of their 11 league games. Won 2 of their 5 at home. 1-2, lost 1 in the last 3, okay, but those wins came against Bolton, who are absolute shambles at the time, and Wigan, who are again underperforming as well. If you want to manipulate the stats a little bit more, they've only won 2 of the last 9 after they started with back-to-back wins. And let's not forget that Charlton come into this game unbeaten this season. No one's beaten them so far in 11 games. They've won away at Norwich. They've beaten Watford, Derby, held Middlesbrough, held Wolves as well. You know, they've played a lot of big teams here, and so there's going to be absolutely no fear factor from Charlton's perspective going down to the south coast. I heard one of the local reporters for Charlton on the We Are Going Up podcast last week talking about Big Bob, and the way Charlton basically play to their strengths, which it's not massively glamorous at the moment, but they're grinding out results, sticking to their rigid game plan, and they're a tough nut to track. So since the start of last season, Bournemouth have only won 13 of 28 games at home, which is it's reasonable. They failed to win 54% of their games at home. That's what that stat says. Charlton have lost 11 of 28 games away from home in the same period, so they've avoided defeat in 60% of their fixtures. You can get 13-10 on Charlton avoiding defeat in the double chance market. Bet365.
I like it. You're with Bob the Big Baby Peters in this big clash on Saturday. League One then. League One, and Leighton Orient been in the news a lot in the last couple of weeks. Mark obviously got Russell Slade resigned. Everyone was backing them to do well this season and be right in the promotional mix, but it's been an absolute horror of a season.
Real shambles. A cracking point there last weekend at Sheffield United, must be said. I mean, what an ending to that game. They were leading 1-0. United pegged them back and then scored in injury time. And Orient had still had time to get an equalise and deep into stoppage time. A fantastic point for them, but I don't think MK Dons are going to be quite so forgiving this weekend at Brisbane Road. Back at home, where they've taken just 1 point from a possible 15. The atmosphere around the club isn't that great at the moment. You sort of mentioned that sort of summer good feeling from the playoff final, and the new takeover is far from gone. And even the head coach or manager, caretaker manager, Kevin Nugent, doesn't seem to know what's going on with the club. He came out and said he was off for the job. The club sort of said, that's just a rumour. Bizarre sort of goings on there. Looking a little deeper at their home record, they've conceded at least 2 goals in 4 of those 5 games. And that's what I want to go on with here with MK Dons. Full of goals. You look at them, they scored 2 or more goals in 4 of their 5 away games, including brave 3-2 defeats at Peterborough and Bristol City, 2 of the best teams in the league. So they're not going to fear a visit down to Leighton Orient. Robinson's side have actually scored 2 or more in 5 of the last 6. Scored 18 goals in that time as well. And Dele Alli's getting all the headlines, but Benik Afobe's the man who's getting all the goals. Will Griggs even looking lively after his taking a loan spell to MK Dons as well, recapturing his form from Walsall a few years ago. So I like MK Dons. I think they're going to go well here. Over 1.5 MK Dons goals is 11-8 with Coral.
Wow. And Carl Robinson did a decent job this season, right? We've slagged him a lot.
We have slagged him a lot because the club's regressed for 3 years on the trot now, but he's
getting it together this year.
Well, it's got to be this year on.
Yeah, last chance, Carl. Bucket the ideas. Anyway, game 3 in York. Again, a team who've been in the news. They've drawn about 150 games in the last few months, but the tenure of Nigel Worthington has come to an end.
Yeah, sad.
It's a shame. Nice guy.
Yeah.
You could get back at the Northern Ireland job, but they're doing fantastically well. Anyway, and York are up against Shrewsbury at the weekend. What are you taking?
I'm going to try and be quick, but I wrote a little piece earlier in the week, in the weekend debrief, about managers and clubs reacting after they've had their managers dismissed, to compared to beforehand. And I excuse Watford because they've had about 46 managers this season, but of the 12 Football League clubs who've lost their managers so far this season, they held a record of 112, drawn 19, lost 54 of the 85 games before the managers left their position. In the 12 games preceding, they won 5, drawn 3, lost 4. So there's definitely an angle here to be had. And I looked around. Bolton are at Birmingham, which I think is worth a punt now. Neil Lennon's got that job. Tranmere away at Oxford, who've got thumped 5-1. And there's York at home to Shrewsbury after Worthington. I wanted to be with York for 2 reasons really. A strong home record over the past 15 months. And also the shots on target ratio, which is really unglamorous, I know, but it's something that really interests me in the fact that York are 6th in that table in League Two. So they're doing something right. They're getting in position. They're getting on average 5 shots on target a game, which is it's decent compared to their rivals. Yeah. Also, they're top of the shots table, so they're firing on average 13 shots a game. Back at Bootham Crescent, they've not won in 6 games, but they've drawn 5 of those, failed to score in 3 of them. But it's not helped that they've failed to score against 3 of the top 4 in the league at home. All 6 home games have come against top half clubs as well, so they've had a tough fixture list, but they've only lost 5 home games in the last 28 since the start of last season. Only won 10 of those though, so immediately you've got to look towards getting the draw on side here. So I've gone for the draw no bet for York. It's 19-20 with Coral. Russ Wilcox has just got the job.
Is that confirmed, is it?
I believe so, yeah. I mean, it's a great appointment for them.
He's not employed for long.
No. Well, quite rightly as well. He did a marvellous job for Scunthorpe. And quickly touch on Shrewsbury. Wrote about them a few weeks ago as well, about their appalling away records. Drawn 2, lost 4 of their 6 away. Failed to score in 4 of those. They only scored 1 goal in 6 before beating Cheltenham at home last weekend. Picked up 2 of their 18 points tally away from home. Nothing new really. I went back over the last 3 seasons and they've lost 36 of the last 75 away games. Bet Victor are giving us 19-20 on the draw no bet for York, and I think it's well worth a punt for a variety of good reasons.
Right. But they have been firing blanks, just like Mark.